9 harsh truths all English learners need to hear. Number 1, you will always make mistakes in English. We have an expression in English, the truth will set you free. This is a harsh truth. You will always make mistakes. But this isn't a bad thing. This is normal. And this will set you free understanding this because it's really your expectation that you won't make a mistake that causes a lot of the problems. Now think about why this might be true. Well, think about your native language. You've been learning it since you were born, since you were 1 year old. Now think about English. Even if you started learning English when you were 10 years old, you still have 10 more years of experience with your native language. Now think if you started when you were 20 years old or 30 years old. You just have way more time with your native language. And even if you live in an English-speaking country, have English-speaking coworkers, you will still most likely speak your native language way more than you speak English. Natives make mistakes too. You make mistakes in your native language. I make mistakes in English, even though I'm an English teacher and this is my profession. So although it may sound harsh, I promise it will set you free if you don't have that expectation. Number 2, native speakers don't care that you're learning English. Why am I saying this? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be insensitive. And a native speaker, the fact that they don't care that you're learning English, again, that isn't because they're rude or insensitive. It's because it's not their role. When you interact with a native speaker, they are not your teacher. They're your boss, your coworker, your neighbor. When you interact with me, yes, I'm your English teacher. Our role together, our relationship is just different. In the workplace, you are not an English learner. You're an accountant or a marketing director or a sales associate, whatever your job title is, that is what you are. You are not an English learner in that environment, and a native speaker doesn't look at you like you're learning English. Number 3, some people will judge you. Yes, of course, some native speakers will judge you if you have a thick accent or you make mistakes, even though you will make mistakes in English and you will have a thick accent. But guess what? Other English learners will judge you as well, and you are likely judging other people, other English learners, native speakers. Judgment is just a part of our human experience. It's how we make sense of the world. So yes, some people will judge you, but let me tell you, many, maybe even most, will not, because again, natives don't really care that you're learning English. They just care about getting their coffee from you or getting the report from you or getting whatever information they need. Number 4, confidence comes after speaking, not before. Here's the truth. And yes, this may be a harsh truth because it's different from your expectation. The truth is, if you're waiting to feel confident before you start speaking, you'll be waiting forever, because you're just not going to feel confident about an activity that you've never done before. Yes, you can certainly do your structured classroom practice if it's helpful. You can practice ordering a cup of coffee in the mirror. You can record yourself. You can practice with a speaking partner. Doing that will help you feel confident, because you're doing the action. Even though you're not in a cafe ordering a coffee, that work you did, the practice you did, will absolutely help you feel confident. But if you're just sitting there not practicing and thinking, once I feel confident ordering a coffee, I'll order that coffee, you just won't order that coffee. I mean, just think of it like this. If your friend tells you, I'm going to wait to feel confident riding a bike before I ride a bike, of course you would say that's ridiculous, but you have to understand it's the exact same thing with your speaking, because your speaking is just a skill, just like riding a bike is a skill. Number 5, watching English videos isn't practicing English. Ooh, this might sound like a harsh truth, and this might sound contradictory because I have many videos on my English channel helping you learn English. And I'm certainly not saying that those videos aren't helpful. But watching the video is just step one. That is passive. Practicing English is an active skill. That's why I provide free lesson PDFs. Some of my lessons have quizzes. In my programs, there are many other practice exercises for you to do. That is when you're taking that information in the video and you're turning it into active practice, which will help you permanently remember that information and then feel confident after all the practice you've done, feel confident using it. Let me ask you a question and be honest. Let's say you're watching a YouTube video and it's from me or another English teacher you respect and admire, and that teacher says, pause the video and repeat the word out loud. Pause the video and form a sentence. Do you actually do it? Do you pause the video and do it? We don't say that just for fun. We say that because we're trying to make our videos more interactive. We're trying to make them more beneficial for you as the student. But if you're not doing that, then you're not actually practicing English. You're watching a video, but you can absolutely turn that video into active practice. You just need practice. This leads me to number 6, you need way more repetition. So let's say you actually pause the video when I ask you to, and you open your mouth and you repeat a word, or you form an example sentence. That is great. I'm so glad you did that, but once is not enough. Twice is not enough. 5 times is probably not enough. Your brain was designed to forget, not to remember. Because think of everything we're exposed to on a daily basis, the sheer amount of information. It is impossible for our brains to remember everything. So our brain was only designed to remember information it thinks is important. How do you tell your brain that information is important? Repetition, repetition, repetition. Think of when you've gone to a party in your native language, you've gone to a party or you're starting a new job or a new class and you meet many different people. Hi, hi, hi. How many names will you remember at the end of the day or the end of the night, even if that party or event is only 2 hours? I know many people forget names in 5 minutes after meeting the person. Again, this is the way our brains were designed, because if you don't repeat it, your brain thinks it isn't important. So whatever repetition you're getting now, double it or triple it. Number 7, subtitles aren't available in the real world. If you're watching this video with subtitles right now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I certainly think that subtitles can be a very important part of practicing and improving your English. But there's a difference between using subtitles strategically as a tool to practice and improve, and just relying on subtitles because it's the easy choice. Because again, your brain is designed to do what's easy. So if subtitles are automatically on a video, your brain will just not even really listen to the information. It will just read it because it's easier. Now, why is this a problem? Because I'm assuming you're not spending all this time learning English just so you can watch my videos with subtitles. You want to get out there in the real world. Well, guess what? If we're having a conversation in the real world, there are no subtitles. I am not going to write down what I want to tell you about my weekend, pass it to you, and you read it. That's not going to happen anywhere in the real world. So yes, subtitles are a great form of practice and they can be used strategically, but the harsh truth is it's lazy to use them all the time. Number 8, the more you learn, the less you know. Have you heard this expression in English? Maybe it translates in your language as well. It's a common axiom, a saying, the more you learn, the less you know. What do you think this means? Well, as you start learning anything, you can take the English language, you can take riding a bike, you can take baking, you can take playing guitar, just take any activity. As you start learning more about that subject, you realize there is so much about that subject that you didn't even know existed. Let's say you're learning how to bake. As you get comfortable with baking cookies, you realize that there are French recipes, Spanish recipes, there are Thai recipes, and all of a sudden you realize there are literally thousands of different methods or styles of making cookies when all you wanted to do as a beginner was make a chocolate chip cookie, which is the standard American cookie. The same is true in English. When you're a beginner, you think you just need to know a few verbs and a few words, but then as you go on and you actually get more advanced in English, you feel like there is so much more that you don't know. That has nothing to do with the English language or your level of English. That's just a fact about the world and subjects and the fact that there is really endless things you can learn about any one topic, especially in our age of information where so much information is available. So don't get discouraged by this, or if you feel like as your English improves, you don't notice the improvement as much, is really because of this expression. The more you learn, the less you know. Number 9, just relax. Please just relax. Learning a language is a challenging task. It absolutely is. But you're making it so much more challenging with your unrealistic expectations, with your perfectionism, with your comparing yourself to others, comparing yourself to natives, comparing yourself to other students. All of those are optional when you're learning English. You need to learn certain verbs, certain subjects, certain grammatical rules. Those are requirements. You don't need to bring in perfectionism or comparing yourself to others. Those are optional. But my students, my lovely students, they make learning a language just so much more stressful and complicated than it needs to be. Please just relax, because also when you relax, your brain will learn faster. Our brains do not learn well when we're stressed. Certain parts of our brains actually slow down. The function of those parts slows down. So when you relax, it will actually help you learn faster. I hope these truths help you. That's my goal of this video. And of course, I have many videos on my channel to help you improve your English fluency. And if you keep these truths in mind, I promise the videos will be more beneficial to you.